Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast heading into this Wednesday. It was a very cold day yesterday, one of our colder days that we've had in quite a while, and it's just going to be a little bit warmer today. But let's recap the snow from yesterday. Here's a look at our reports, and you can see quite a bit of reports are generally in that 1.5 to 4 inch range. Yes, there is some exceptions, including, let me get my mouse here. I got a 5.5 inches in McFarland. We do have a 6-inch report at 8:02 in Manhattan, and that was 3.8 at a 7 o'clock update in Manhattan. So it's not possible to get that 6 inches there. That was the most in southeastern or in northeast Kansas, I should say. Now, more of the higher totals stayed down to the southeast. We have a lot more yellow showing up around the Wichita area, which is generally around that 6 to 8 inch range, closer to 6 inches though, and then a little bit darker orange colors, which is more in the 8 to 12 inch range in east central, south central portions of or southeastern portions of the state. So we were on the lower end of our totals, so generally speaking, most spots, of course, a lot of these reports may still be on older side, but you can probably add maybe a half inch onto a lot of the totals. Got 4.2 total with our snowstorm in Topeka, and let me go back. I wanted to show you this because we always want to verify our forecast. So 1 to 2 inches Monday morning, 2 to 4 inches on Tuesday. So generally speaking, what is that? 3 to 6 inches up along the Nebraska Kansas border. That may have been a little bit on the high side, but you can see that generally speaking, areas in the northern portion of our viewing area did get the least amount, so there was no doubt about that. And then about traced to 1 inch Monday, but 3 to 7 inches plus on Tuesday. Of course, we were closer to that 3 inches for most areas, and we did not get some of those higher snowfall totals. Most of that stayed down to the southeast with those 8-inch totals just to the south and east of the WIBW viewing area down here. So that's all it took. A little bit of a shift southward. That's where all the heavier totals were. So where do we stand with our monthly precipitation totals? We are still behind. We could definitely use some more precipitation as we head into our final 9 days of the month. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot, but we will certainly be keeping an eye on a few opportunities of some light precipitation for the next couple of weeks. Meanwhile, we are behind for winter with the exception of Concordia. You are a little bit above average for the winter months. Remember, winter months is defined as December 1st through the end of this month, March 1st being the first day of spring, climatologically speaking. So I think we'll fall a little bit behind for the winter as well. As far as snow is concerned, well, we're above average for snowfall. There's no doubt about that. Of course, a lot of it falling within the blizzard, and we are at 27.8 inches of snow in Topeka, one of the snowiest years that we've had in recent years, and that's more than all the other cities on this graphic, even more than Minneapolis, even more than Chicago for snow this season. So very, very unusual as far as what we've been dealing with here in Kansas, even though, the last couple of snowstorms that we've had haven't been amounting to some of those more medium and higher ranges in the ranges of our snowfall forecast. It's more on the minimum side, but it's still a correct forecast. You still have to be mindful of the minimum in that range that we give you. That's why we give you ranges, not just straight up totals, because there's always differences in the computer models, and there's always factors that play into snowfall totals being different than if we were just give you straight up number. All right, so getting past the snow, because we're done with the snow, other than having to drive on it on some of the roads that haven't been plowed, so be aware of that. The cold continues, though. Single digits today, maybe if we're lucky, getting up into the 10, maybe 11 degree range in some areas, but don't count on it. We might be able to sneak in a little bit of late day sun, too. But morning wind chills over the next couple of days. I'm concerned about tomorrow. Not only will that be our coldest wind chill, but also our coldest temperature in general, with the highest probability of most areas getting close to 10 below zero for the actual air temperature, because we will have clear skies and light winds. That is going to allow for those temperatures to plummet. And then it doesn't get quite as bad for Friday through the weekend, although still staying on the cold side, especially Friday and Saturday. Much, much warmer on Sunday. As I mentioned, we may be able to sneak in a little bit of late day sun today. There are a few other models that indicate a little bit more clearing taking place later this afternoon, but I'm thinking that this is probably a good bet on what happens today. We do quickly clear out, though, shortly after sunset tonight, and that will certainly lead to generally mostly clear skies overnight and those temperatures bottoming out. Other than a few afternoon clouds Thursday, sunny skies are expected through much of the day, and then mostly cloudy skies Thursday night, but should be back to mostly sunny on Friday with just a few passing clouds. We are in for a big warm-up this weekend, finally getting back above the freezing mark, highs in the mid to upper 30s on Saturday, with the warmer weather out west heading our way on Sunday. In fact, look at this, upper 40s and even some low 50s on Sunday as we round out the weekend. And those upper 50s out in western Kansas, hey, that's heading our way early next week. Right around 60 for Monday and Tuesday, and a little bit cooler with a weak frontal boundary pushing through for Wednesday. That may bring a little bit of precipitation to the area, but in the form of rain, the way it looks right now with how warm not only the surface will be, but all the way through the atmosphere up to the upper levels. As I mentioned, we could use a little bit more precipitation as we end the month and end the season of winter officially. And as far as additional snow is concerned, the rest of the month, I don't see a whole lot of meaningful snow for the remainder of the month between the European and the GFS. The GFS is a little bit more, especially along the Nebraska-Kansas border, but still in that 1 to 2 inch range. So it's not a lot, but it is a little bit more than the European. And so we will definitely be keeping an eye on that, because as we head into that 8 to 14 day outlook, we do return to the probability of wetter than normal conditions after a drier than normal conditions in that 6 to 10 day outlook. But we're in the red for all three of these time frames, which means probability of above average temperatures. So, for example, 47 is the average high this time of year, 25 the low. And for the most part, once we get past really Saturday morning, I think we're going to be at or above average as we head into the rest of the weekend into the foreseeable future. So we just have to get through the rest of this work week. It is going to be downright frigid and dangerous with those wind chills, especially these next couple of mornings. So be aware of that, especially if you do have to go out and shovel at any point in time over these next couple of mornings. You have to make sure that you are covered up completely, or at the very least, if for whatever reason you have some exposed skin, you are not spending a good amount of time outside. Get some breaks, 15-20 minutes, every 15-20 minutes, because when it's this cold with those wind chills that we're expecting these next couple mornings, frostbite could start occurring in 25-30 minutes. So you want to have that 15 to 20 minute timer on your phone, or however it's easiest to see, if you are not covered up completely on any exposed skin so you don't develop frostbite. Have a great day and stay safe.